Help! What do I do when my husband isn't interested in sex and it makes me feel undesirable? We understand that couples typically are not on the same page when it comes to sex, but those nagging thoughts can really eat away at your self esteem, and that's just difficult. Hi, I'm Mary Whitman Ortiz of Limitless Intimacy, bringing you the best tips and tools to create great intimacy in your marriage. And on this channel, we talk about communication strategies and intimacy made simple steps, all from a Christian point of view. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing and stay until the end because I have a mind blowing, riveting truth about men's and women's sexual desires. All right, let's get back to our question. What do you do when your husband isn't as interested in sex as you are and it makes you feel undesirable? So, we're going to unpack what might be going on in your thoughts at that point. First of all, for women, they can be like, this is role reversal. I thought it was only men who were more interested in sex. And so if that is going through your thoughts, you have like this extra obstacle to wade through. Although I can tell you, you are not alone. There are definitely women who have a higher sex drive. The second thing, she might be struggling that he loves her body, that he's attracted to her body. Even if he says it, she doesn't always believe it because the saying of that doesn't seem to match up with what is going on in the bedroom. The third thing she's wrestling with, she's just frustrated. She never thought she would be in the role of initiating and is this forever? Is this for the entire length of our marriage? What do I do with this? Now, I'm going to give you some tips on how to handle that. But I have to say, hey, is this helping so far? Then would you give us a thumbs up if you're getting some value? And I have a question for you to answer in the comments. Is your sex life in your marriage what you thought it would be? Just a yes or no question. And it's interesting when we go back and reflect on what our thoughts were before we got married. Okay, what are those tips that can help you if you're in this situation? First of all, you have to understand that a woman who has a stronger sex drive is completely normal and completely realistic. So, nothing wrong with you for being in that situation. It is going to be important, though, to find ways to work with it so you don't get frustrated, so you don't become resentful, so you don't create more distance because the pain seems, too much to deal with. Secondly, you can tell your husband, hey, I need to feel desired right now. Because him showing that you are desirable, it can happen in ways outside of the bedroom, but he won't know that that is a need you have unless you tell him. It's not something that he's supposed to know, that he should know without your words. No, not a mind reader. You're not a mind reader. He's not a mind reader. So please tell him, hey, I need to feel desired right now. And here is another great tip for you. You and your husband can brainstorm. What are the ways you can feel desired? And maybe you tap into your love languages so that he can express this to you and you get that message that you are desirable, even if that is not represented in his sex drive. So personalize that. What message is going to make you feel desirable? Give him tools because he may be feeling inadequate on his side. That way, both spouses end up frustrated without any help with that. Now, if you'd like some more tips on how to talk about sex, will you check out my books? They're in the description below. Why can't I talk to him about sex? Why can't I talk to her about sex? It's a companion set so that both of you can figure out what some blocks might be. I know there's a bit of embarrassment. Sometimes there are values that you were raised with that kind of discourage you from being this open. But the more open you are, the better foundation you have to taking your sex life to a place that is meaningful and respectful and more of what you dreamed of, right? Okay, now I'm going to share with you that most riveting truth that you didn't know about men's and women's sex drives. Here you go. In 95% of marriages, there is at least one spouse who does not normally feel desire and pursue desire. You know, on TV, in the media, we're seeing these couples that are just like, "Ah, I'm thinking about sex and I'm going to make it happen." And they're tearing each other's clothes off. And that's not reality. It's not realistic. There would only be like 5% of marriages where that is what is happening. So don't compare yourself to what you're seeing in the media, and do talk with your spouse so that you can create your own journey together. Thanks so much for joining me today. And remember, God's design for sexual wholeness in marriage is fulfilling and thrilling intimacy.